Welcome to the finishers. Oops, oops, oops. Welcome to the Signatures and Finisher podcast. I'm your host, DSWalk. And today is a fun-filled day, a full day of wrestling. And if you're a wrestling fan, this is our day because we're going to get a lot of great matches today from AEW All In to WWE Wrestlepalooza. And I can tell you right now, man, everybody's going to be watching wrestling all day. I know I will be. Allegedly, I will be, but I ain't going to tell you where I'm going to watch it because I don't want to get in trouble. But joining me today, as always, my tag team partner, the one half of the tag team champions, because we bring tag team wrestling back into wrestling. Can't say no Yeet Man because Yeet Man is wrestling today. So I'm going to go with the Godfather Jamie here. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? I will not be watching AEW today, but I will watch Wrestlepalooza. After some finagling, because I refused to buy the ESPN app, because why? Because I'm one of the lucky ones that has YouTube TV. And if you're part of the majority of people that have YouTube TV or Comcast, you do not get access to ESPN's app right now. So for anybody that does see this before it starts, I signed up for Fubo. Fubo has a 5-day free trial, and you get the ESPN app. So I've already have it set. It works. So I will watch Wrestlepalooza that way. And as soon as it's over, I will then cancel the Fubo membership and not worry about it ever again. I hate WWE for this. I think it's trash, but, not my call.
Yeah. I'm planning on watching all the shows, even the pre-shows for All In, which I do like. It's because it's on YouTube. And, I like all free stuff. But like most of us today, Jamie, I will be watching it courtesy of VPN.
That's fair.
The best way to watch it, my brother. The best way to watch it.
That's fair. I might check out All In. I mean, I want to watch it, but at the same time, I'm like, do I want to spend $40? No. If AEW wants to increase its viewership, it's got to get off of the pay-per-view model. Pay-per-view's like officially dead. So they've got to do something about that because, again, $40 at this point, like that's like 3 streaming things for a month. Like they got to come off of it if they want to expand their viewership. The sooner they can do that, the better. They already have issues with their whole streaming deal to begin with. If Paramount buys HBO Max, then they're probably going to be looking for a new home. That's part of why WWE is doing this, whether they want to admit it or not. I did read an article with 2 of ESPN's executive people. And they said, we're not trying to counter program AEW, which is with WWE's schedule. This was really the only date that was available. And, we have to plan around the NFL too and college football because that's also our competition. So like, they don't even know what their competition is. They ran this out. They had no idea what they were planning for. First, it was nobody's going to have access. Then it was everybody's going to have access. And then a couple days ago, it's, if you have YouTube or Comcast, you don't have access. And it's like, you just alienated most of your viewership right there of people that already have ESPN. These 20 million people, because it's about 20 million roughly that have ESPN through Comcast or YouTube TV that are going to have to run out and pay $30 or do something like what I did with Fubo. And hopefully everybody does do the Fubo thing because I'm all in favor of boycotting WWE because the only comparison you could make is that WWE is the prostitute that works at the free clinic that has no teeth that will do anything for $1. That's basically how I feel about them.
Man, well, I always say this. I'm not mad at the WWE. I'm just mad at TKO for how they handle it and doing business right now in professional wrestling, especially the WWE. So
you just have to call it WWE because it's all the same thing. You think UFC is going to do any better?
No. But before I continue, I want to welcome everybody for tuning in to our show. And we're going to get everybody. I'm sorry. Jamie threw me off there with the WWE, TKO did the same thing. My mind here thinking like, but wait. Yeah, they're owned by the same company. Everybody, thank you for tuning into our show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And remember, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and share. That's the only way me and James gonna get paid. Like, subscribe, and share. Because we need those things. If you don't, Jamie gonna knock on your door. He gonna cut your
And
cable.
people want to pay to hear me talk. So, that
Yeah,
just
I know. I
helps
know.
that out more because I'm a ray of sunshine.
You are. You are. Just like, and we're gonna ask your neighbors because we already know you already cut that cable off. So just saying.
I was out there cutting the wires this morning.
Yeah. See.
That's what I do.
Yeah. See. I
The
took
AT&T fiber box is right outside my window. I can actually see it right now.
it. So we're gonna start the show with AEW because AEW has their show at 3 o'clock, and they'll be starting early. And if I'm correct, their pre-show is already started.
Yeah,
And
it's already on.
yeah, and I will be watching that, so don't worry about it. This is an hour show, ladies and gentlemen. So bear with us because we're not gonna hold you up today. So today on AEW, their match card, we have Heyman Adam Page defending his title versus the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. Excuse me. There we have the AEW Women's Champion Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander and Thekla for the AEW Women's World Championship in a fatal four-way. We have the AEW Unified Championship three-way match. The Rainmaker Okada versus Konsuka Takesha versus I don't know. I don't know this guy's name. I mean, I'm
You were
sorry.
kind of on a roll there, and I was like, is he going to get through all these with no hesitation? Yeah.
I would have got it, but man, look, Tony Khan just threw. I mean, he threw me a loop here. I don't know this guy, Mascara Dorada. Who is that?
So he got outed as the winner a couple days ago because there's another event going on for I think CMLL, and the loser of him and I forgot the other guy's name. I'm drawing a blank right now, but the loser of that match got booked for that main event for CMLL. So that's how you kind of find out who was going to be the third participant in that match. But yeah, he's a CMLL guy.
Whatever, Tony. Whatever, Tony. Forget you, Tony. TBS Championship match. The CEO Mercedes Moné versus Rio. AEW World Championship. Fatal four-way ladder match. Brodito and Bandito and Brody King versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus Josh Alexander and again, I can't pronounce it. I'm not gonna do it. It's members of the Don Callis family. Tables and tax match. MJL versus Mark Briscoe, a coffin match. Darby Allin versus John Moxley. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR. Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill. The Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and GOA Bishop Khan and Toe Leona. Excuse me.
So are we going predictions or are we just going thoughts on the matches? What do you want to do?
Well, let's go with predictions and give me some of the matches that you looking forward to.
I mean, the Hangman Page Kyle Fletcher match is going to be good. I would like to see Kyle Fletcher win. I don't think they're going to let him win yet, but they need to build another star. I mean, you've got a couple of your pillars that we've talked about. You've got Hangman Page, you've got MJF, and you've got Swerve Strickland. That's kind of like your big core pillars. They need more. They need more future stars. Kyle Fletcher fits that bill. I would like to see him win. Hangman Page, I don't know, he just kind of wears on me after a while. So does John Moxley, though. And I think Kyle Fletcher would be an ideal person to build up to that next megastar for your company because they need more of them and they've got to build somebody up. But I just don't know if they're going to let him win this soon. So I still think that Hangman Page will win. It should be a really good match. The Mercedes Moné match, the problem I have is she's clearly not going to lose because let's say she lost to Rio. Do you really think that they're going to want to let her walk around with all those other belts when she doesn't have an AEW belt?
No, it wouldn't make no sense.
Exactly. So as long as she has all those other belts, she ain't going to lose. So,
and I think they're trying to have her break Jay's current record, the longest tenured TBS champion. So it do kind of make sense to let her win, let her break the record. Then at some point this year, she'll lose that title.
See, just trying to have her break the record already, it's being forced. At least with Jade Cargill, she was just more physically intimidating than every other woman they had on the roster. She was bigger, stronger, and arguably faster than almost all of them. Mercedes Monet doesn't fit that bill in any of those categories.
Well, no, because I kind of felt when Jade won that title, to me, it was just a title for her to. It was that type of title where someone who's new, someone who's kind
Mm-hmm.
of new into the business, you give them this title, let them develop. And with Jade, that's what she did in the development
Didn't
part.
really develop it.
Yeah,
Or didn't really develop, but had it
yeah,
done.
but she, they gave her that title. Hey, like you said, she's big, she's stronger, she has that appeal than most of the female wrestlers at that time in AEW, and she categorized that and went to the WWE. And I just look at the champions after her. Was it Chris Statlander who really didn't have a good run with it? Now Mercedes Monet, who's having a lackluster run with this title, and plus,
Mhm.
she got 15 other titles, that 15 different other companies that we never heard of, and she doesn't even defend those titles. Well,
Well,
except for the Stardom title, we heard of that title, so we do know that she goes there to Japan to defend that title. But the other titles, they just there just to look good on her shoulders, or in
yep.
this case, on the table.
Um, the Christian Cage, Cope, FTR match, I think will be good. That one's kind of hard. I could see Cope and Christian Cage losing just to draw the extra impact that it is in Toronto. Because again, like they're not done with their careers yet, but they're on the tail end. Them winning, does it really do anything for anybody? No. It would have a bigger heel effect for FTR to win, and that's kind of what they need. So I kind of expect FTR to win to keep drawing the heat as the bad guys.
I think Cope and Christian will win just because on a few things. One is in their hometown of Toronto. And two, I think by them winning, it keeps the story going. If FTR wins it, to me, they'll go along and they'll probably face the winner of the tag team championship match. And that means, Christian and Edge will be at the back burner where, they'll have to work their way all the way back just to get a shot at FTR.
No,
If
I think it's backwards. I think it would actually keep the story going better if FTR wins because then they're going to come back. Obviously, FTR is going to go for the titles. Christian and Cope cause them to either win or lose, and then it sets them up for rematches that way for the titles.
Okay, so let's jump right into the tag team championship match with the Young Bucks versus Brodito versus Jet Speed, and I got the Young Bucks winning just on the simple fact it will continue that storyline either with Young Bucks or FTR, who
Mhm.
some people say, you know, Young Bucks, FTR, that rivalry is still going, and who's the BITCH? I don't know. I heard a lot of people say it's FTR. And to
Yeah.
me, if by Young Bucks winning, they will kind of go back to what they was doing earlier. They want to elevate tag team wrestling, make tag team wrestling important. So by them winning, they'll put the spotlight back on tag team wrestling. You had a makeshift tag team. Brodito had the titles for about almost a little bit over a month, 2 months.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. So you put the belts back on the Bucks, make the tag team division a little more important again. And they were feud probably with FTR and Edge and Christian, or I'm sorry, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. And if it's Adam Copeland and Christian Cage winning, not only is a dream match for the Young Bucks, but that's another story that could be told with the Bucks, Cage, Copeland, Cage and Copeland trying to win the tag team titles in AEW. That would be another notch on their resume, their historic Hall of Fame resume. And again, we all know how Tony Khan feels about dream matches. And plus, how many times we have seen FTR versus the Young Bucks?
Well, and what you just said is why I think FTR is going to win tonight, because it's going to propel them into that title match, which will then automatically pull Christian Cage and Copeland into that as well. So then you do get your triple threat tag team titles match. You will have a Copeland Christian Cage win. So that way they have tag titles and all the major promotions besides ECW. Well, no WCW, but
Right,
they'll
WCW. Yeah.
have they'll have the two big promotions that are still around. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And I want to clarify on something. I do like the character that Christian Cage is playing. I'm glad that he's staying kind of his heel character and not trying to be the baby face, but he's kind of like a little bit, in between. He still has the same personality, still an asshole, and he's still kind of heel. But he's doing a little, a little face work, little face thing. But I just love the fact that he is staying true to who he is with his character. Because a lot of times, when you get back together with your longtime tag team partner, your best friend, you tend to want to be the face. You want to be a face with your best friend. You want to get the pop from the crowd. No, that's not Christian Cage. I like how they doing this. You got two best friends, one's a face, one's a heel, and it's working perfectly.
You tell me you don't appreciate Captain Charisma.
I appreciate Captain Charisma.
You like the patriarchy, though.
No, I don't.
That's what he's doing now. He's not doing Captain Charisma. He's doing the patriarchy.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying though, it's good. It's refreshing. It's good. Because
Yeah.
how many times have you seen two best friends as a tag team and they're both faces? It's something different. You got to one's a face, one's a heel,
Mm-hmm.
and they come together. On different circumstances. Hey, look, you help me with your problem. I'll help you with your problem.
Yeah.
It's not like a genuine, hey, let's get back together. Like, nah, they're just helping each other out.
The MJF Mark Briscoe match I think will be good. I don't really expect them to ever really do anything with Mark Briscoe. He's going to be the guy that's going to get big matches that's always going to lose. So I fully expect him to lose. That it only hurts them as a company if MJF loses. You got to keep him relevant as long as you possibly can because he's the most talented person they have on the microphone. Period.
Let me ask you something here. Why would you put a wrestler like MJF, who is a wrestler, wrestle Mark Briscoe, who I do like, but Mark Briscoe's more of the death type wrestler.
Yeah, he's a deathmatch wrestler.
Right. So why would you put those two different styles in the same ring?
A lot of different reasons. A, you're paying Mark Briscoe a good chunk of money. You got to use him. B, they could be trying to build up MJF's character. If you remember way back in the day, early 90s, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer was the pretty boy. He was the guy that nobody thought could take a beating, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. So what did they do? They used it as a story and had Raven beat the hell out of him. Literally like handcuffed him to the ropes and just beat the hell out of him. And he just kept coming back. They could potentially be doing something like that. I don't think MJF's the type of guy that would want to go that route, but they could be. I really just think it's kind of, I don't want to say they feel bad for him, but they kind of feel bad for him and they're just putting him in main event spot, not main event, but putting him in upper tier spots because what else are you going to do with him?
Man, he's your top superstar. He's your basically he's supposed to be allegedly your face of your company, and you put him in this type of match with Mark Briscoe, and to me, it's really no payoff because we all know MJF gonna win,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to me, it's it looked bad for Mark Briscoe. It just looked bad for him.
I think a lot of their plans kind of got dumped on with Sir Strickland being hurt and things like that. I think a lot of things kind of got thrown into chaos for him. And that's why I don't know why is when you're booking that you don't book like 3 paths minimum for every story that you're working on. Because it's a business where anybody can get hurt doing any little thing. I mean, you saw Vince McMahon blow his quads out stepping into the ring. You've seen other wrestlers do simple things where they tear their ACL. I don't know how you don't book things. Whether somebody gets hurt, whether the crowd just absolutely hates it and you need to pivot. Like, you've got to have deviations, or else you get things like, I'm not going to say that's 100% what happened with Mark Briscoe and MJF, but like, how did we wind up here? And does anybody really care? No.
I think a lot of people care about the match as far as they know the wrestling is going to be good, but I don't think a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
care about the storyline right now because the storyline kind of it went as far as going to
Like, my
go.
point is, like, why isn't Mark Briscoe fighting John Moxley? Two guys that have that background. Like, that would be far more entertaining because they're both willing to do crazy
Anything.
things and hurt themselves. MJF's not that guy. Unless you're going to try and turn it into something where he becomes that guy, I don't personally think he would ever be that guy. I mean, he's not said directly he wants to go to WWE, but he's made all the indications that he's going to go wherever the money is. He's going to get a big money contract from WWE, if anything, from just spite of taking him from AEW. So I doubt he really wants to put himself in a match where he's going to actually go all out and risk getting hurt or build
Yeah.
up a reputation where he's going to do those kind of matches, because WWE is, oh, you're willing to do this? Well, we're going to put you in that kind of match all the time.
Yeah, and then plus these type of matches, they take years off your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I kind of question this match, but we all know MJF is going to win. And if I remember correctly, Mark Briscoe's on Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole, like, I'm not a fan of when you own multiple promotions and just the whole intermingling thing. Like, what's the point? There's no point. If you're just going to intermingle everybody all the time, just call it all one company. That's why when I was pitching you my whole WCW idea, let Heyman run it. Let somebody run that. No cross promotion stuff. You want to have one pay per view per year or one PLE per year? Make it Clash of Champions. Make it Crown Jewel, whatever you want it to be. Then you can have all your cross promotional matches. That's it. But Ring of Honor, same thing. Like, you've got half the Ring of Honor guys wrestling on Dynamite and Collision all the time. You're like, wait, I thought they were Ring of Honor. Oh, well, they are, but we're just, throwing them on the show to get them more exposure, whatever.
Yeah, it's called try to get a TV deal from Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Well, same thing with TNA. You got the TNA guys coming over all the time, and WWE just uses them to take their titles to make their own guys look better. But, why aren't you helping focus TNA on getting a TV deal instead of using Axis or whatever internet channel that they have now? Like, WWE is not helping TNA as far as I can see. I don't see them getting TV deals. I don't see the viewership numbers going up. It only seems to benefit WWE.
No, not at all. Hey, maybe once my media empire grows, I can have TNA on my program. Get him a TV deal. Yeah, it'd be local.
I mean, it tells you something that WWE has first right to buy them, and WWE hasn't just opted to buy them yet.
Well, I was kind of really hoping Scott D'Amore would be able to buy them.
That ain't gonna happen, no.
Yeah, I know. The Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander versus Thekla match. I'm gonna go with Chris Statlander, but I'm gonna say this though about Tony Storm. I love her character. I love the work she's done. She has been doing this for a very long time with the Timeless Tony Storm. I hope she continues to do the Timeless Tony Storm gimmick. However, it's getting stale.
Yeah, she's got to take some time off. That's why she's going to lose.
Yes, yeah, that's why I put Chris Statlander. And not only is it getting stale, they gave her nothing to work with. As far as they haven't built up anyone so she can work with. I kind of think that they built this Timeless Tony Storm character just so that she can fight Mariah May. And we seen how far that went. And now Mariah May is in WWE NXT. Tony Storm being kind of lost. I mean, Don't get me wrong. She fought Mercedes Moné. It was a nice match, but it wasn't really no build to it. She had an open challenges. but they really didn't have anyone from the open challenger matches that she had that stepped up and built a story or develop a character or develop any young wrestlers to challenge her for the title. So now you put her in a fatal four way, as I call it, against Chris Statlander, against Thekla, against Jamie Hayter, in which if they were smart, I probably went back to the Jamie Hayter versus Thomas Tony Storm because that's a story still there that was never finished. So if you went back to that and wrap it up, I would easily say, hey, Jamie Hayter gonna win because she last time she was champion, she lost to Thomas Tony Storm. At that time, Tony Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And give it to and Chris Statlander, you just giving it to her because she's been there the longest and she so far they actually doing something with her. So you can't be like, hey, you know what? You've been here for a while. We really do nothing with you, so we're gonna give you the title.
I mean, it could go either way with Jamie Hayter or Chris Statlander because if you've been watching, they keep coming out to save each other every time they get jumped. It's clearly just setting up for a rivalry between those two. I'm leaning more towards Chris Statlander, but I have kind of a burning feeling in the gut that Jamie Hayter is going to win. I don't know why, but I feel that Chris Statlander should win that one.
I wouldn't be upset.
Thekla is just one of those ones they just kind of threw in there for the sake of throwing him in. Like, not try to be disrespectful, but like you're just here because you showed up today. Like,
no. That's not true. That's not true. She's there to take the pinfall.
Well, yes, I mean that's truly what it's there for, but you don't want to say things like that. For some reason, my camera decided to put me out of focus. So,
yeah, you blurry right now, my guy.
Yeah, I don't know. There it goes.
Yeah, and before I touch on the Heyman Page and Kyle Fletcher match, because you gave your prediction, what you think. Before we get to that one, I want to say the Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley match, and I was actually looking forward to this match. I would have probably loved this match if there was something on the line. Like if Darby was a champion, I was like, this might be an interesting match. And it still might be because you got two guys who would do anything, go all out, death-defying things to win and to entertain the crowd. However, I am done with Jon Moxley. What I mean I'm done means I'm burnt out.
He needs to take a very long break.
Yes.
Just go away for 2 months. Just take a vacation. Let the body heal up from any lingering things going on. Just get off TV for a while.
Yes. The Death Rider storyline is probably one of the worst storylines that I have seen in a very long time. And look, I know things change. What did we say about the John Cena heel turn? It sucked. It was terrible. Just the Death Rider storyline is on that same level of badness. And that kind of hurts me saying that because Jon Moxley has been carrying this company for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
If you need someone to step up and be the face of the company, carry the company when it's kind of at its lowest point or at its highest point, you always could turn to Jon Moxley because he's that guy. He's the one that shows up. He's the one, in my opinion, is Mr. AEW. Next to MJF.
I was going to say MJF and obviously the Young Bucks, but
Moxley
for major talent, yeah.
Yeah,
Jon Moxley's the guy.
Yeah, Jon Moxley, to me, he's more independent. He's consistent. And again, he's been there. I'm just ready for him to just go away. Like you said, go away, heal the body, come back fresh in 3 or 4 months. Back.
It's one of those things that it's a business of if you're not on TV, people can forget about you.
Yes.
But at the same time, if you're a big enough star, it doesn't matter. You can come back whenever and people will erupt. I mean, look at when Triple H, I think it was when he blew out his quad. And he came back and everybody's like, oh, it's the loudest pop I've ever heard. And it went on for minutes.
Yes.
And he wasn't even expecting, because honestly, he kind of left as just the DX guy. Yeah, people like him. A lot of people hate him. He's cool, whatever. He's funny. But the place blew up. But then you have somebody like, I'll take a terrible example, Brian Christopher, when WWE decided to bring him back, brought him out, and you could hear people talking in the crowd. Like nobody made a sound. And he wasn't exactly a super hot top talent to begin with to bring out like that. But other, as long as you know how to reinvent your character, Undertaker's a great example. He could disappear for a long period of time, come back with the same character but freshened it up, whether the look changed, whether he changed. Because if you remember, I like to refer to him as the Amish warrior Undertaker. The corporate ministry, when he got rid of the mustache, just had the goatee going. He was in the best shape of his life. Like, he looked pretty jacked. You know, he ran that for a while, took time off, came back as American Badass. Ran that for a few years, took time off, and then you got kind of the most current version of the Undertaker, where it was like a mashup of all of them. Moxley needs to do something like that. Jericho's another great example. Jericho takes an extended period off, comes back with a whole new iteration of his character. Whether it was cutting his hair off or coming back with like the Kevin Owens or all the different variations he's done, he's another great one at it. And Moxley needs to do something to that level of just come back with something, be who you are, but just freshen it up, make something unique about it. And yeah, he's been on for a long time. I mean, besides stints in rehab, there's a lot of Jon Moxley on TV every week.
Yeah, it is, man. And, you know, he got a lot of scars on that body, man. A lot of wear and tear on that body. So, you know, to me, like we just said, you know, I go as far as maybe take 6 months off and just heal, relax, freshen up your character, freshen up your gimmick.
I don't know if AEW could afford for him to take 6 months off. I think 2 months they could get away with, unless he does have like some sort of surgery or something he needs to have. No more than 2 months tops. But I think this match is to set up something with Daniel Garcia. I really think that they're planning something big for Daniel Garcia. And I think this match is part of what they're probably going to use to do that.
So you thinking that Daniel Garcia would feud with Darby Allin?
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that. I don't think they ever feud since they've been there.
Not that I can recall.
And we all say, you know, hey, we need something different. And that would be different.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Daniel Garcia fit the mold of wrestling style, fit the mold of a Bryan Danielson. So you will get a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, we better give a little bit of love to WWE predictions. We got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we do. Well, no, we have 28 minutes left.
What are you talking about? It's 2:50.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna make this real quick.
You're like 28 minutes. I'm like, what? I'm looking
at my clock. It says 33:17. I'll make this real quick.
No wonder you're late for work all the time.
I'm on time. 30 minutes on time. Okay, but actually more like 15. But Heyman Page, I do agree with you. He would be Kyle Fletcher. And I know a lot of people would think that this would be burying Kyle Fletcher. And I don't necessarily see that. Just on the strength, we don't expect Kyle Fletcher to win. To me, this is more like a measuring stick to see where Kyle Fletcher is. I would prefer to see Kyle Fletcher defend his title on this show against somebody other than Heyman Page. But this is what we got. I think Kyle Fletcher will hold his own. Heyman will retain. And I just hope that Kyle Fletcher doesn't get buried. I hope they protect him in this match, even though the Don Callis family cannot interfere. But I do expect Kyle Fletcher to put on a good show. He's going to entertain everybody. He's going to hold his own.
I mean, as long as he doesn't get a blowout loss where they just, smash him, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, don't crush him. Don't crush the young guy. But also, to me, the best match of the day would be Okada versus Takeshita versus Dorada. And I say that because we can see now they're building towards Okada Takesha for the unified championship. So,
Takashita is going to be really upset that you can't say his name right.
hey man, look, that's not my fault. That's on Tony. He shouldn't be throwing me these curveballs. He shouldn't throw me these curveballs. And it kind of
They
back because I
need
do like lucha. I do like lucha. I love lucha wrestling.
they
But
need to hurry up and get to that match and start telling that story as soon as possible, because that
yes,
will get people's attention to watch wrestling.
yes, because Takesha has been white hot for a very long time, and he hasn't had a good feud. He just hasn't. So feuding with Okada, two guys, two countrymen, two guys who faced each other in the past a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Takesha is that up and coming young wrestler. Okada is that aging veteran who can still go, one of the best out here. Yes, I agree. They got to tell that story. Now let's get to Wrestlepalooza, the show that was created out of magic, out of nowhere. Shout
Yeah.
out to ESPN for and WWE for creating that match or this show.
Shout out to throwing together a TV show just so you can have an inaugural program to screw up your Peacock deal.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, how you been seeing the ESPN, the crowd? You know how they just get a huge crowd behind them when they do these little post game or
Mm-hmm.
pre show. Yeah. How about that crowd in Indy? Really, nobody was behind them.
How about when they made the announcement for WrestleMania? They did it in a closed door room with no press, no nothing, because they didn't want to feel questions about why they were doing it. Read that whole thing. They
Hey man, they did that in Vegas.
in an empty room.
Yeah. But hey, at least we know they enjoyed the fight. So the match card for this one, a few matches here. We got John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, the Usos versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Women's World Championship on the line, Io Sky versus Stephanie Victor. The winner would be the new champion. Took so long. The WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Jamie, I'm gonna go on the limb here, and I'm gonna say for the both of us, our favorite match is gonna be Io Sky versus Stephanie Victor.
100%.
Not for the simple fact that we know that both ladies gonna come out here and gonna put on a hell of a show. Io Sky is one of the best high flying female wrestlers out here, and Stephanie Victor is just a ring. She's to me.
You got to give EO a little more love than that. She's one of the best in the world, period. Doesn't matter
Well,
high
of
flyers.
course.
She's one of the best, period.
Well, of course. I mean, from Japan to Mexico to the WWE, yes, Io Sky is one of the best female wrestlers in the world. So is Stephanie Victor. So when you got two women who are the best at what they do, we know it's going to be a good show. The thing is, we don't know who should be champion.
My gut feeling says Stephanie Vacher is going to win because Asuka is going to get involved somehow.
Asuka
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Kyrie.
why did I say Asuka? Asuka? Yeah. Hey. My brain's in like 10 different places. I have a feeling Asuka will get involved. So I feel that Stephanie Vacher is going to win. Because obviously they're pushing for an Io Sky Asuka rivalry, which I don't think we need to go into right now. I think Io and Rhea would still be a good draw for a while, and then let Io and Rhea Ripley go at it, but or let Stephanie Vacher and Rhea go at it. But I think that's what they're going to set those two up for now. And obviously Io will go with Asuka.
Yeah, I think they're gonna hold off on the Stephanie Victor and the Rhea Ripley match. That story, I think Rhea Ripley is going to be involved with the Io Sky versus the Kabuka Warriors, and I think that probably happen in Australia. That's just my personal opinion.
I hope so, because we need a break from Rhea Ripley being champion for a while.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
need to
Well,
keep her away from it for a while.
you talking about out of the championship title scene or just being champion in general? Because she hasn't been
being women's
champion in a
champion.
while.
She could be tag team champion. She could be U.S. champ, but just a break from her being in the main event scene so consistently. It's been refreshing to see her just kind of being stepped back and kind of having just backstage segments for a little bit. I like seeing her wrestle, don't get me wrong, but not having her in the main event scene so much. Like, you get burnt out, and I was kind of burnt out on Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I'm glad that we seen someone else be part of that scene. But you also make a case that, do you really want to see? And I know we love EO, but she's kind of getting to that point too. That we see her in all these big matches, big championship matches. If it's not her, it's Rhea wrestling each other. I think she's kind of getting to that point. And if they do decide to get EO the belt, I'm begging you guys, please give her a title run that she deserves. Don't have her be the backup singer as a champion. Don't have her be the side chick.
Well, that's what they've been doing, and that's part of the problem is that she hasn't had a proper story. They give her the belt, and then they just have her, she's the side piece, the Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley and all that kind of stuff going on. It's like, this is the champ. And I get that's the story they were trying to tell of, like, she's just the forgotten champion, but it's not a good look.
It is not.
You could do that in the men's division. It would have told a good story. The women already have issues in the WWE locker room. We've heard about it all this year. So that's not a good story to tell on the women's side of the ball.
Yeah. So give her the proper run as champion. I mean, you was going to do that for Naomi until she got pregnant. Shout out to Jimmy. So give it to EO. Let her have a proper run the title. Let her tell her story. And at some point, we can revisit her and Stephanie down the road, or we can revisit her and Rhea down the road, or her or Bianca Belair down the road. Either way, give EO the proper run. Now, if it's Stephanie, if she wins, you gotta let her get in. What's that word I'm looking for? You gotta integrate her into the women's locker room, into Raw, because she hasn't been on Raw in a very long time. I think she made one appearance. I think it was last week she was on Raw.
The thing that's making me think she's not going to win is that she's taking English classes right now.
Yes.
And if you've read the stuff this week about Andrade, that's one of the reasons he got fired, because he didn't work on his English.
Yeah, but see, with Andrade, it was different because when he was in the W the first time, they gave him a mouthpiece. They gave him Selena Vega. So it's not like they couldn't do that again.
I don't disagree. I'm a big fan of old school wrestling. Managers serve a purpose. They could have given him anybody. The whole, they don't speak good English. Who cares?
Right. And look at Julia on SmackDown. They gave her Kiana James because her English is broken. And she is taking English classes, but her English is not good. Give her a mouthpiece.
It's an excuse. But I read that about Andrade this week. That was one of the reasons. Well, he didn't come back. We were hoping that he was going to get the same treatment as Cody Rhodes did when Cody Rhodes came back. He didn't have the same career as Cody had in AEW. No. So why would you even have that expectation to begin with? He didn't work on his English at all. Okay,
but he didn't have to do that in AEW because he had a mouthpiece.
Right. Some people, let's go back to Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko back in the day, he never talked, period. Could have given him a mouthpiece if you wanted to. He didn't need one. Chris Benoit for a long time didn't really talk once he got into WWE. He didn't talk a whole lot towards the end of his run in WCW. Didn't need to. Not every person needs to talk, but WWE feels that everybody has to talk. And when they want them to, be protected, like Braun Breaker, who might be worse than Scott Steiner. I mean,
hey, Brock Lesnar. It's bad. Brock Lesnar for the longest time did not talk.
Brock Lesnar never needed to talk. Brock Lesnar would have been better if he never started talking. It would have just been that enigma of this guy's just coming out to crush you. Let Heyman do what Heyman does. That's the one thing. I don't want to say it ruined Brock, but it kind of brought it down because you start to see how funny he actually is.
Yes.
They should have just left Brock never talking.
Yes. Back to Stephanie. If she wins, I want them to introduce her in a way so that the crowd can gravitate her, so the crowd get to know her. And like Io, I want them to tell a good story. Build her up, put her some good matches, even as champion. Let her grow with the title, put her some good feuds. Don't waste don't waste the time. Don't waste her talent. Don't waste anything because lackluster runs, it kind of kills it.
We should wrap this up in the next 2 minutes, but my final thought on Io, I still think WWE is going to rush it and put the title on Stephanie, even though I don't want to say she's not ready. If she is working on her English, give her a little bit more time on that. Let Io win it. Io can carry it no problem. She can wrestle anybody. The only time it's going to not really look unawkward is if she's or the only time it's going to look awkward is she's going against the Nia Jax. Nia Jax is busy over on the other show. So Io can do just fine, phenomenally, even against anybody else out there.
Yeah.
Give true. Stephanie some time with her English. She'll be good.
Yeah.
What about John Cena, Brock Lesnar?
I'm going with John Cena, and I do believe this is not a one-off. I think Brock gonna come back and get his. CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch.
I'm going to take the obvious choice, CM Punk and AJ Lee. It wouldn't make sense to bring her back and have her lose her first match. So,
yeah, that makes sense. And I do believe that AJ would pin Becky Lynch to set up their feud down the road. And, of course, one of our favorite matches, our favorite wrestler, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. And listen, we know who's going to win, and we know who should win. Cody Rhodes will win because it's Cody Rhodes. That's your champion. They want to give him a good run. But who should win this match is Drew McIntyre, the uncrowned champion.
If there's a time that I can say I want to be wrong, I want to be wrong. Drew McIntyre needs to win this match.
Yes, he does. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but he deserves to win.
Yes. I mean, we can't do anything about Bobby Lashley. He's over in AEW, but Drew McIntyre deserves to have a shot with a crowd. Like, it's
not just with the crowd. Drew McIntyre, if they gave him the title, you already got lined up about 3 or 4 stories going up to WrestleMania next year that he'll be dealing with. I'm telling you guys, if they put the title on McIntyre, you got a built-in story with him and Sami Zayn. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, not that I want to think about the end result of that one, because Sami Zayn gets a little too much love, in my opinion. But I get it. He's the everyman. I totally get it. But
he's the everyman. And if Cody wins, know that he will, you will continue have to find someone to wrestle him.
Oh no, they've got Cody doing the same thing that Roman Reigns was doing, just once every 90 days, defend the belt. Once every 90. That's all we need you to do. But anybody else, they're like, hey, they haven't been able to defend it in 30 days, so we're going to strip them of the title. I don't know how they didn't just have Naomi show up to do a couple segments every couple weeks and just say, hey, you haven't defended the belt in 9 months, wonder why, but hey, you got a match now.
Wow. Roman's a special attraction now. With that said, everybody, anything to say?
Old school quality match. If you want to see quality wrestling, Google Psychosis versus Tajiri and ECW.
Duly noted. Everybody, enjoy today's day full of wrestling. Me and Jamie will. And remember, like and subscribe and share our show so we can get that money. And remember, we're looking for sponsors. Come out those pockets. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. We out of here.
Later.
Later.